Cheers. Oh, let's do this. I've never done a podcast before.
It's just like talking. It's just like bullshit. It's just conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Talking into the mic instead of talking all over the phone. You're just talking in the mic.
Let's do it.
Oh. Is the audio on? All right. Well, guys, we got a special guest today. Episode 44 of the Vigilante podcast. We have Colton Chernos joining us today. And like I said, this guy's near and dear to my heart. I went out to Las Vegas, and if you guys need to know anybody in Las Vegas, this is the guy to know in Las Vegas.
Out of all of Vegas.
It's crazy.
That's impressive.
I tell you what.
I'm done, you know.
and it's only going to continue to improve with where he's going. But he really took me under his wing when I was out there. Showed me the ropes out there, helped me stay out of a lot of trouble. Got me into some good situations that I needed to see out there. And man, I was blessed. Thanks for joining us today, boss.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime. If you'd be so kind, I mean, I know just like us, you grew up in Utah, close to Layton, where we're going to be opening the juicery.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into the position you're at now? Because you are, what's your position at Tao?
I'm one of the directors of VIP services now.
Director of VIP service at Tao Nightclub.
Mm-hmm. For Tao Group, Tao Beach, Lava Brunch, our venues.
Lava Brunch is nuts.
Yes, it is. That's my bread and butter right there.
Absolutely. What got you there? How did you even decide? Okay, because coming out of Utah, obviously religion's big, religion's prominent.
Yep.
Vegas is completely different. That's a 180.
It's night and day, completely. Well, I moved out of Utah when I was 21.
Okay.
As you know, Kruko Peki, I'm sure everybody knows Kruko Peki. He was out there before I was. I was in college. I wasn't very happy. I was kind of just trying to keep up with the Joneses out here. You either go to school or you get married or this, that, and this. And I wasn't about any of that. So I decided, it was best for me to drop that out of college. I didn't finish college, and I just moved out there with no job lined up, no nothing. Slept on a couch for 6-7 months, and just interviewed everywhere, and just got lucky. Crew was able to give me the interview at Tao, and they liked me and hit the ground running.
Right. So what do you think most people would have been willing to sleep on a couch to go make a change?
Not for 6 months, man. That couch was uncomfortable as hell. It was awful.
Whose couch was it?
It was Crew's couch, and it was one they had from like 6 different apartments. And it was just one of those that was like bent in the middle.
Like the community couch.
Yes, exactly what it was. It was an experience for sure.
And Crew's the Wee Jesus that we had on for all the listeners who didn't know the Wee Jesus episodes. If you want to listen to some wild trips on that, you got to hear him.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy that got me where I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And dude, he just has a heart of gold, man.
Sure does.
And like
Jesus.
Exactly. Spreading the love.
Yeah, always.
So I know you guys came out for a wedding. Yep. Did everything go smoothly this weekend?
Great, man. It was one of our friends' wedding. Beautiful ceremony. Good time. We all danced, sweated like crazy. It was a blast.
I love it.
Yeah.
After, man, I love old friends, man.
Isn't it crazy?
To link up and see where everybody. It's weird because we're all getting old, dude, and time is just going faster.
This year was the fastest year I've ever experienced, and it's already almost New Year's kind of.
Right.
It'll be here before you know it.
I got news for you guys. They all get faster.
Yeah,
they really do.
That's scary.
It just keeps
in
on
a good
going.
way. Scary in a good way. Yeah.
It's just like we can't even waste a day.
Nope.
You waste a day, it's over, man. Like you start slipping, somebody's passing you up.
Yeah.
What got you in the mindset to say, hey, I want to leave college. I want to drop out of college because especially and times are starting to change. But when did you drop out of college?
I was 21, so I was 20, so that was 6 years ago.
So and really, even in the past 5 years, the view on college has changed
drastically. It's not as needed anymore in people's eyes.
Right, but as soon as we graduated, when you graduated, it's like, hey, if you're not going to college,
you're a loser.
Yeah,
you're not doing life right.
What was your mindset when you jumped out there?
Well, I'm really big into like self-empowerment and positive thinking, and I fell onto this book my dad told me about. It was called Kevin Trudeau wrote it. I'm blanking on the title right now.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I didn't really know anything about it. I've always been kind of a sales-driven guy. I was selling Kirby vacuums door to door, pest control door to door, all that stuff. And that book has basically taught me how to retrain my mind to think about every situation positively instead of negatively. It's so easy to go negative because everybody you're around, they're trained negative. They wake up in the morning, they go on social media. Social media is negative. The news is negative. Everything is negative, and and it's all subconscious. They don't really understand what it's doing to them. So this book taught me how to retrain my mind. And, I basically just, tightened my belt and I was like, listen, I'm going to go to Vegas. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen. It's going to happen great.
Nice.
And after 6 months, and 5 years later, here we are down the road.
Dude, I can't find it. It's
What is it called? What is it called?
It's no worries, but we're gonna find it out.
I'll think of it at the most random times.
Yeah, even for me, work is negative.
Yeah.
All the people there, and like you say, they don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
People don't realize, but it's just hearing that negative all day long.
It subconsciously kills you, man.
It does.
It's crazy. You are the product of your 5 people you're around the most, and that was literally when I wanted to leave. I had no positive infrastructure where I was at. So, and Jesus is an extremely positive person, as we all know. So it's just good for him and I to link up and really lock. He's one of my best friends now, and that just kind of helped me keep my mind going in that direction even when it got tough.
How'd you meet him?
High school football, Northridge versus Layton.
Yeah.
Crew and I went to rival high schools. We were considered the same. We were considered the same person at different schools. I was the loudest kid at Layton. So once we left high school, we actually went to a party in Logan called the How, and that's when it was the first time we actually ever hung out.
Yeah.
And we clicked, man. We were immediately oh, this guy's my boy. And then ever since then we've always kept in touch, and here we are 8 years later, one of my best friends.
So you say you knew of him in high school?
Yeah, so we played Little League football together on the same team, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
And then I was a skinny kid, so I was older but lighter, and I stayed down, he went up. Then we kind of were separated until high school where we met. And then, we just played football basically all of our lives. And then after that, partying in Logan is what ignited this whole thing. Wow. It's trippy to think back, that far back.
It's so weird how me and Uncle Corey were talking about this the other day too, about how in high school, because you're on different teams or different schools, it's man, you just dislike somebody just because
you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you have to, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, it's kind of a cool guy.
This guy's like my doppelganger.
Exactly. And man, there's so many friends now that is in that same way of, I hated them during high school, and then it's after, oh, okay, I was missing out. We could have been having all this good time.
Yeah,
but we didn't. We disliked each other.
What do you think? You say because you have to, but do you think you're taught that?
I think honestly, in a way, yes, because it's there's so much separation in the world, and it starts with just people being different than you.
Yeah.
You almost dislike people that are different than you because they challenge what you believe, they challenge what you think, and I think that can go all the way back down to the Rosa Parks days in the racism, in the people hating other people for religion, for race, for gender, for whatever it may be. There's so much craziness out there just because of separation.
Mm-hmm.
But if people would focus on the commonalities of each person, everybody's bleeding the same blood, they're breathing the same air, everybody has their own challenges. If they would focus on commonalities instead of the differences, man, there'd be so much more growth and prosperity, I think.
I agree. And especially in high school days, keeping up with the Joneses and trying to fit in.
Right.
And, I don't think anybody ever hated Layton, but just because we were rivals, if you're cool, you don't like them. And as a kid, you're like, oh, I want to be so cool.
Right.
And that's kind of also what it stems from too,
100%. Gotta have the coolest shoes, or
gotta have all
it's
that.
man, and if not, you were frowned upon.
Yes. So that even goes further into life. It's even worse once you get into the real world. You gotta have the nicest truck, you gotta have the nicest clothes. When really you could have more money than them, but they just spend it more freely, I guess.
Right. Well, I think you get probably the best view of that more than anybody
hands down.
Really in the world, I'd say, because Las Vegas, people are going there to be flashy, to spend the money. And in your opinion, based on the people you've met and the things you've seen, do the biggest dogs spend the most money?
Yeah. So it's kind of, there's always those people that are flashy, but can also they can walk the walk.
Right.
But I have a lot of customers that range from, $50K a year type guys and, salary. They're around middle range to where the wealthiest people I've ever met. And the guys who are middle class, they are always, for the most part, always the ones that show up in Louis Vuitton shoes, Louis Vuitton belts. Their outfit's probably $5,000. And then they can't even buy one bottle, which $600 compared to a $3,000 outfit. It's the opposite,
Right.
And the guys that, can spend 20 grand and not even blink, they're in they got nice clothes, but it's jeans, a nice shirt. They're not flashy at all. And the guys who have the money are also a lot more respectable and a lot easier to get along with because they're more humble.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I've seen big time.
Right.
Outside of, there's always those douchebags, I guess, if I can say that. But for the most part, they're all pretty friendly people.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. And it's so weird.
You
to
saw it
see.
too a little bit later out there,
I did, and it was weird. There was just a few people that, and you can never. This is something I am so excited to do when I'm a billionaire one day. Is just dress up as kind of some bummy clothes, have cash ready to rock, ready to buy a nice ass vehicle, dude, and just walk in, just looking like a bum.
And see who gives you the time of day, because that's who you go with.
Exactly, and that's who's going to get a fat commission.
Yes,
check, and maybe even an extra commission just for being kind.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
And there was this guy especially at the club, and he looked like a regular guy, had like a polo and some nice jeans on, nothing spectacular. Had a couple people around him, and I was talking to him there, and he was kind of quiet. He's like, "Hey man, like it's just me and my guys. Is there anybody that you might know?" I said, "Yeah, let me go find. I'll go find some girls. Let's bring them to the table. See
have a good time.
Exactly. Enjoy the night. Enjoy the evening." And so same thing. I go eventually. Met some ladies they were looking to have a great time as well. Meet some new people. So introduce them. Next thing you know, this guy just starts whipping out cash. You would have never thought. And I, at the end of the day, he's like, "Hey, Teague," he's like, "I really like you." He gave me his contact info. If you ever need anything, let me know. Little to find out, this guy owns a real estate company and major real estate. It's wow, all right, you never know. And then another guy, I was trying to speak Spanish when I was down there.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So before this, old coworker of mine at town named Alain came, and he speaks fluent Spanish. He's from Mexico. Right before he started, I was like, nobody knows Spanish, and I know just a little bit.
Gee, come up with Spanish.
So this guy comes from South America, and he's going to the Conor McGregor fight, the Khabib fight.
Okay.
And he wants a nice bottle of champagne. And so I'm trying to talk to him, and we all night just like, "Hermano," this means brother in Spanish, like hermano, like, what do you need? So all night, and then just being kind to that person and trying, like he knew I didn't know my Spanish.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like this guy has money. He's like, he's whipping out $900 for a quick bottle of champagne. Ain't no thing.
No problem.
Yeah.
He's doing very well for himself.
Exactly. And you see him on social media. He's all these fights around the world. It's like, what does this guy do? I still don't even know what he does, but I'm seeing him doing cool stuff around the world. So it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it was so eye-opening. It's like, okay, I can never judge somebody, and always be kind to somebody. Always give the value before you expect anything in return, and massive things are gonna happen, man.
Yeah, funny you said last weekend. We all know who Marshawn Lynch is, right?
Yeah.
He was. There's a bar right outside of Tao, Fat Tuesdays. Remember that bar?
Yeah.
He was just sitting there in like khakis and a hoodie, and no one even knew he was there. Like if you didn't know football, that guy's a multi-millionaire.
Yep.
And his watch was like a $50,000 Rolex, but it was tucked in his hoodie.
Beast mode.
And he was just sitting there at the bar talking to the bartender like it was nothing.
Yeah.
That when you go through the motions so frequently, you kind of forget sometimes to be so humble.
Right.
You get going with the runs. You just it's how life works. But that made me think like, wow, you never know who you're gonna meet. You can meet some random person walking on the street, and he could be a millionaire, and you guys click, and boom, you have your investor for your business.
Exactly.
You never know who you're gonna meet. It's kind of hard to always think that way, but you gotta just program your mind. Just think about it every day.
Yes, 100%. Me and my buddies in our business, we always talk about you never know when your interview is.
Right.
Same type of thing. It's like you being kind to one person someday may lead it may not happen for 5 years from now, but that seed got planted.
Yeah.
And one day that guy's gonna be like, man, that guy did this for me.
Yeah. I need something in Utah. Oh, I know. Teague lives there. Well, Teague, let's do this. Boom, there's your next venture.
Exactly.
You never know, man.
You never know when your interview is. So you got to treat every interaction, every day like your interview. You may have had a shitty day, but if you had and this goes in dude, this is so beautiful because you know exactly about this. You can't have a tired day at the club industry.
Zero.
You might have been up 48 hours straight, been drunk 36 of those hours.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, man.
And you still got to go. And
I'll be hospitable.
You're right. You guys should see this guy. He's an animal. I'd be caught yawning. He's like, Teague, don't yawn. We can't yawn here.
Just go drink a Red Bull.
We can't yawn. I'm like, okay.
Exactly.
Trying not to yawn. Because he's just a marathon man, and I love it. I respect it, and
appreciate that.
I learned a lot from you while I was out there, man. The entire team, nothing but kudos and thanks and blessings. Because I'm excited to see where all of our paths link up here in the future because it's gonna happen again.
It's funny. You know how you always put the little emoji on the chat?
Yeah,
You
the
still
star
say,
bar.
do the T. It sticks, man. It sticks. One of these.
You have to, man. You have to.
It's incredible.
Can I go back a little bit?
Yeah.
When you said I got to take care of my clients,
Mhm.
what does that mean? Like, can you go into detail exactly as much as you can what you do?
Yeah, so basically, me and a colleague of mine run a team of VIP hosts for our venues. We have 15 of them, and our job is basically to network as much as we can and bring customers and people into our venue and have them buy tables. And during that time, if you do have somebody come in, your job is to make them your best friend. The job is basically a glorified networker. You bring them into the club, you host them if they want to move time in the city. Someone hopes they'll call you in return, and that benefits us a lot because it's not only will they call us when they're in Vegas and make us money, but like I can go to any city, almost any city in the country and call up someone like, hey, what do I do tonight? And they'll be like, here, call this guy, and get in for free somewhere or do this somewhere. It's the network, as you can attest to it, the networking portion of the job is probably the best on the planet. I would say it's hard to match that, meeting that caliber of people that often, and it's like, it's so easy because you want to do the same thing. You just want to have a good time. It's easy to find that common ground.
Who are some of the people that you've met that everybody would know?
I've met Draco Malfoy of Harry Potter. I've actually drank with him. I've had a good time with him. I've met LeBron James. I have met James Harden. I've met
Jerry Rice was in there a few times.
I've met Jerry Rice a couple times, or I've hang out with him a couple times. A lot of the Playboy people, a lot of Marshawn Lynch. I'm trying to think of musicians. I've met Wiz Khalifa. I've met Snoop Dogg. I've met Kevin Durant one time. I met Kanye at a party.
A lot of NFL teams come in.
Yeah, there's a lot of Cam Newton, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, a lot of athletes type. They always come to the clubs especially when it's off season. They're there almost every week.
Teague met one of my musician heroes and sent me a picture. I usually don't get jealous. I was freaking jealous.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, I remember that night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ollie Shore was in that night too.
Yeah. I came in town the next night.
No way.
Yes.
Like you just missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. You see those people all the time. They just come through and have a good time.
Right. And it's weird. They're just people.
They're just people, man.
It's so crazy.
For the most part, they're just humble and as nice as you. And you just gotta spark up the conversation as well. And you could be friends with a movie star.
Yep.
And just to reiterate a little bit about more what he does, when he says VIP host, he's not the guy for the listeners. He's not the guy out on the street hustling cars. Hey, come to the club tonight. Hey, come to this. It's that. It's completely next level. What Colton does and what Colton's team does is he, like you said, creates a network of friends, a network of basically party partners in essence, to be able to, when I'm a billionaire, I can call Colton and say, hey, what's going on? Where's the best place to be tonight?
Okay.
Can you hook it up? And 9 times out of 10, he's going to be there right there with me, making sure I have every single thing I need for the entire night, getting introduced to the correct people, going to the right spots at the right time, making sure the best food is getting taken care of for my party, for my crew.
Yep.
So again, if you guys are even thinking about Las Vegas, what's your Instagram?
It's Colton_Vegas. Super simple. Cole with a K, not with a C.
O-N?
It's KOLTON_Vegas.
Beautiful.
So what kind of restrictions do you have on stuff you can get or do or?
Anything that's legal, I can get absolutely anything at any time. My network's massive in the city, so I could just send one text and whatever you need is done.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
That's especially on the strip. If you go off the strip, it might take me 10 minutes, but I can find somebody.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's incredible.
I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I've had and the people that I've met. And everybody out there is for the most part, they're all grinders. So if you're a hustler, you'll make friends with all the hustlers and they'll just help you, carve your path in Vegas. It's a very scratch your back place.
Right. It's cool, man. You really see on the inside of Vegas, you really see a lot of loyalty too.
Yes.
There's this guy, Craig, who Colton works with, who I just got a hell of a ton of respect for. Everybody like Brandon, Craig, Ali, and Lewis, everybody out there, they're just Jake, they're all badasses. But it's so weird because at the beginning when I first met Craig, I didn't know.
Did it click?
Yeah,
it click.
I was like, I didn't know
That's
if you
Craig,
liked me or not.
Yeah.
But he, little did I know, he was testing me the whole time
Right.
because he's like, who is this new guy coming in?
Yeah.
And so I'm learning stuff from him, just kind of listening, and some things happened
Mhm.
where we got into it a little bit with
The person.
with the person, and I was able to back up Craig. Next thing you know, Craig's like, that's my dude.
Yep.
And then instantly, just like that, like I'd do anything for that guy. And I know he'd do the same for me.
Yep.
But you just had to break that
You
door
got to
down.
prove yourself.
Exactly. It's weird. Like it's a big, especially if you're on the same hosting with other people. It's such a brothership. It's
Right.
weird. I don't know why it is that. But it's like it's such a close knit of friendship that no matter what happens, we all jump off a cliff with one another.
Right.
I don't know why, but it's just what happens.
I think honestly, a lot of it comes down to like, especially if you're with a bunch of a friend group and everybody's getting trashed, you gotta know that if you get too trashed, somebody's gonna be there to
someone's got
help
your
save
back,
you.
man. Yeah, always.
Because if not, it's a dangerous situation.
Especially in Vegas.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So you mentioned a ton of guy names. Are there any girls in this business?
So in the VIP hosting team, it's 95% guys.
Okay. Is there a reason, or is that just how it turns out?
It's how it turns out. There is somewhat of a reason, and I don't know if it's true. Like if you are going to Vegas, and this might sound rude to all of our female listeners, no offense, but it's they're not taken serious as a host. It's in Vegas. If you're a good-looking girl, a lot of tourists just think you're just a piece of meat.
Let's go back to the olden days.
Yeah, exactly. They just think they're a piece of
40s,
meat.
50s.
And unless you're like a strong girl and you can tell like a group of 12 guys what the hell to do, you're not going to make it as a host. So if you're a good looking girl, they go into the cocktail servers, which is a whole nother ball game.
They make some money.
They make some money. They'll service you, man. They deserve it. They work hard. They got to deal with the drunk guys all the time. And I can't imagine how annoying that could be.
Right.
Because when someone's drunk talking to me, I just like slowly creep away, you know? Because it's just annoying.
Right.
I built it all night.
I feel you. What would be some of, like, for somebody coming into Vegas that hasn't experienced it too much, what would be some of the main tips that they would need to know going into this town? Because it's a very on a need to know basis. Like if you're just a person who's coming to see the attractions, you'll see the attractions and you won't even hear about any of the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a couple connections, you'll be able to like, okay, damn, you know what's what, and next thing you know, you're seeing a club party, then you're seeing a mansion party after. Because
I've been there. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Vegas, and that last time I went was the first time I ever went to a club.
Really?
Went to a Tao. When
Oh, yeah?
When
was that? I don't remember exactly.
He
Was it a
came
busy
in,
night or something?
It was close to the Dave Grohl night, I think.
It was the day after the Dave Grohl night, which was this past year, basically right after New Year's.
Oh yeah, those are busy weeks. Oh wow, that's awesome. So you got to experience Vegas when it was very busy.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Yeah.
What'd you
The
think?
club part.
Yeah.
I've never been a club guy.
Right.
It's
loud.
I don't
sweaty.
like crowds.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big being in crowds type guy. It was interesting.
It's a lot of fun, man.
To say the least. It was like you say, the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, come this way, follow me. Let's grab this guy. We're gonna go up here. Here's some drink tickets. Go get some drinks. I'll be back in a minute, and then you're going over and see you guys with everybody else, and then come back. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
it's just always go.
It takes a rare breed to do what we do, and like especially on these busy nights. Like I'm personally in we use a thing called WhatsApp. It's like a chat thing.
Yeah.
And I have one night of operators have like 4 different chats, all the managers, promotions, VIP team, and I probably get a rough 500 to 600 messages a night that I'm responding to the entire time.
Wow.
So it may look like it's easy to do from the outside. It's like,
Right.
this guy just has a headset on and just gets drunk all night. That is complete opposite of. I mean, that's always an option to party with my guests.
It's good though if it looks easy to other people.
Right.
Right. Because if you can pull it off and make it look like it's easy, then there's like, okay, this guy's cool.
It's kind of like a play. Like you're watching a play. If you're a spectator of a play,
Master.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly what it is.
For real. You're watching the play and it's happening. It's like, man, this is a beautiful show. Like you have no idea all the workings. Okay, Q, you're on. Go next person. Boom. It's like everybody has to work in.
Radio's going. You're on the head of the chat. Doing both at the same time while I guess is screaming in your ear.
Adjust and adapt.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it has to be on the fly fast.
And you can't mess up or you're not scream back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One time, right when I started, it's like they're like, okay, T, there's gonna be some people that are gonna try to pull some tricks on you. I was like, all right, no, like I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to do it. It'll be all right. And I was blessed because I kept a hold of the guys. So as soon as you're walking a client into their table, you hold their card and ID until you get to the server, and then you hand it off, and then they can talk to the server, get what they want to get ordered, etc. And so I'm walking in, there's this group of 4 guys. I'm like, all right, yeah, thinking I'm all good. They're like, we're buying this table. Next thing you know, I'm walking, there's 4 of them behind me. I look around, poof, 3 of them are gone. I said, what the hell? Like they were trying to get in for free admission.
Oh yeah.
and so I'm like, oh shit. Next thing, but exactly just like Colton said, it's like you got to reach out to the team. Hey, what do I do now? I just got messed over. Like what happens? I come down, keep the card, keep the ID, and bam, I went down to a guy named Matt Pearson, who he's an absolute stud. And this boss, I don't even know how he's been partying hard for decades now, right?
He's a professional. He's the coach.
Yeah, and you would never, like, with how kind this guy, how respectful, and how just, like, you would never see this man. If you just seen him out on about, because I see his Instagram, like, he's farming, he's hanging out with his wife, chilling, doing his normal thing. You would never know the things, the capabilities this guy has, first off, as well as the things he's seen. So it's like, I'm like, Matt, what happened? What do I do now? He's like, we're all good. So it's like, okay.
He's been there and done that. Every single scenario, situation, like he's been there at Tassel for 14 years. He's been doing this for 14 years, and he also does EDC and Sundances, everything.
Yeah.
So he's seen it all, and he has to answer everything. That's a great point. That's funny.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. And so he helped me find those guys, track them down, and we got them booted, and everything was taken care of. But it's like, man, you got to be able to rely on the team.
Yep.
One thing, and tell me if I'm wrong here, one thing I always tell anybody, they're like, T, I'm going to Vegas. What should I do? First off, I make sure they have some contacts out there.
Mm-hmm.
But second off, I'm like, you never know who's who in there, and you're always getting watched, no matter what.
Yep.
So
the security system is top notch.
yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing.
It's
security.
It's so many cameras, and they can zoom in all the way to your face, and they can match it with your ID from the camera. It's unbelievable with the technology we have.
Cool.
Yeah.
Keep everybody safe. You know, it's
Right.
There's been a lot of sketchy scenarios, shootings this at clubs, and you know, Tao Group really prides itself. We work with the police department like crazy. You know, we have like basically an airport scanning system, so you could walk through scanners. So make sure all of our guests in there are having a great time and that they're safe while they're doing it. It's very important.
It's top-notch security out there for sure.
We don't mess around.
What's one of the craziest stories that you remember? Something that sticks out
From like a partying story, or just
something at the club that happened that you
man.
just like, oh, jeez.
That's hard. That's very, very hard. Oh, there was a guy that spent a 6-figure spend one night. So he spent upwards of $300,000 in an evening, and that was like, just to see that amount of money just be like, no problem, I can spend it. I was sitting like, dude, this guy, I don't know what. I wasn't even able to talk to him because there were so many people in his section, and as a host, you can't be the guy that's like all over everybody for the most part because you're somebody else's customer. But he was just buying Ace of Spades and expensive champagne we had. He bought the 30-liter, which is a $250,000 bottle. He bought that thing and he just left it. He didn't even care. That's to see that amount of money is like, wow.
There was another guy when I was there, and I don't know where he's from, but he had been smoking. All he said, he's like, I go ask, hey, what do you need? He's just sitting by himself. He's like, no, I'm just here to let my friends have a good time. He's like, I don't even drink, I just smoke. So all his friends, like, he's paying big money, like 10 grand, 10 to 20 grand on bottles. And he just wanted to have his friends have a good time. He don't even care. It's like, and that's the type of abundance we're trying to get to.
Yes.
Because if you can get to that level, if you can spend 10 to 20 grand on a bottle, if you can spend 300 grand on a bottle and not even stress about it, imagine the type of impact you can make in a positive way. For
Exactly. Imagine you could have put that, that amount of money in. I mean, they probably have a lot more, but into something else, into a charity, into helping the fire on Amazon, and doing all this crazy stuff.
Right.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Where do you see Tao Group going in the next little while here?
We have a lot of things coming. I cannot share too many details, but we have some massive venues opening up, and we just opened in Singapore. We have venues in LA, Chicago, New York, Australia, basically all over the globe. We do a lot of pop-ups, like we're doing one at Catalina Island in a couple weeks with the group cruise. We're basically taking over all of VIP, and basically we're throwing a day club on the beach.
Wow.
That's really cool. And yeah, there's we run EDC, we run Sundance in Park City. You know, Tile Group is out of all the nightclub groups, you know, we're the most global branded. We're all over the globe.
Yeah.
And we're all intertwined. So if you come to Vegas, Keeg, and in 3 weeks you go to Singapore,
Right.
You know, we're so intertwined as a team. I could put you on a text with somebody out there, and you are taken care of immediately.
Wow.
Which is cool. We have that kind of pull, you know, worldwide.
Right.
And then Vegas is we're going to retake over Vegas here very, very soon.
I'm excited.
Where
to
did
see.
Cal start?
Started in New York.
Okay.
I think it's Uptown New York. The property is there. I think it was 20-something years ago. And then Town Nightclub was the very first mega club, and it changed the nightlife scene. After, you know, there was all like the smaller clubs, and then when Tao came in, it was the first super club.
Right.
And back in 2014 years ago, so that would be 2005, I think. My math is right.
I just remember when I was junior high, Wiz Khalifa talking about going to Tao, going to Tao, going to Tao. I'm like, what is Tao? And then next thing you know, we're working at Tao.
Yeah.
like, damn.
Well, this is Tao.
This is what they're talking about. Okay.
Exactly. No, man, it's next level. What amount of work goes into being a VIP host, or even in the nightlife? Because I didn't realize this at the beginning. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Like in the inside of Vegas, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, it's basically like high school all over again. Like there's cliques, but the amount of work that goes into being a successful host is a lot. It takes a rare breed. Like we have to be able to, you know, if we have to be up late at night until 3, 4 in the morning, get back up at 11, go work at the pool. But the whole time we got to be positive and energetic. So we can network with people, and we can book tables, we can meet people. So it's like if you're a fast-paced person, the VIP host is probably one of the most fast-paced jobs.
Right.
Because you're just nonstop going, and even when you're on your days off, you know, your phone's always ringing. You got to respond to emails. You got to go out. You got to still meet people. There's really no days off.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part. So there's a lot of cool perks. You get to meet the best people on the planet. You get to build your connections so where you can use them wherever you want. But you know, I'm sure all of Las Vegas can attest that amount of work that goes into it is it's a lot.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun. We as you've seen, sometimes when we're working, we can turn it into a giant day off and just have a blast.
You'll wake up, you don't know where your car is, but you gotta be to work in an hour. So so you gotta go, you gotta get an Uber real quick.
You just buzz there with one eye open and take an espresso shot and get back to work.
Exactly.
You know?
Eyes still goobering, you know.
Put the glasses on and
Yeah.
you're good, you know?
You just gotta go. Man, it's crazy.
Like, what's the average amount of time someone stays a host? Because I can see burnout.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, it depends on how you handle yourself when you're drinking, because you know, as you can imagine, you're around it 24/7 out there, and there's, you know, for a single man, there's beautiful women everywhere. And you go to a club, you get everything for free. You get bottles for free, tables for free. It's insane, but as long as you can control it and like learn to have a good time and not like just completely destroy your body, you know, and as long as you're moving up in the ranks, you know, it can be. You know, it could be a career if you wanted it to be. I mean, and the money can be good enough if you are a good host. But I'd say the ones that can't control it, I mean, 3-4 years before they're burnt out and try to do. A lot of people from hosting go straight to real estate. It's like the joke.
Oh, wow.
You know, the real estate is right after hosting. It's like a funny thing we all say. But I'd say 3 or 4 years if you can't control yourself.
Gotcha.
The drinking can just wear on you.
Right.
You know,
What does your recovery look like when you're not drinking? Because somebody couldn't just drink all day long every time. Like, how do you take care of your body, and how do you take care of your mind to recover and get ready for the next day, the next week?
So we'll start with if I don't drink. If I don't drink, you know, I meditate every morning. The first thing I try to do is to host. You're on your phone like 24/7.
Yeah.
And the first half, that's how I make our money. You know, that's how we get our paychecks.
Right.
So for the first half an hour of the day, I try to set my phones away, put them on silent, so I don't even look at them.
Yeah.
Because along with texting, there's negativity in texting, and it's crazy. But you text someone back, and you find yourself on Instagram. Like it's like a drug.
Right.
You know? And
Yes.
I try to stay away from that because you got to win the morning. You got to conquer your morning, and that's how your day will be good. So meditation helps me a lot. In that first half an hour of no phone, I go straight to the gym when I wake up. So you know, I don't spend. I think the biggest thing for me to really recover is not spend the first waking moments on my phone.
Interesting.
That really helps me, like my mind to wake up properly. You know, it lets me go to the gym, it lets me meditate and breathe and focus on positivity. And you know, that's what I think helps me really stay positive and motivated every day. And when I do drink, that is a whole other story. You know, when I drink, I've learned my earlier days when I was 21, I was just drinking and just waking up.
Yeah.
I was 21. You can recover like nothing
Right.
at that age. I'm 26 now, so the recovery time is a day. I get drunk, and if I don't, like, I've learned how to fake drink for the most part. I learned how to like take fake bottle pulls, take water shots. Or drink like a vodka soda minus the vodka. So it looks like you're there and your energy's still up.
Right.
But if I do drink, I'll space everything. I'll do a shot, 3 waters. Like, you got to be strategic about it. Unless you're just committed, then it's just, I usually have a day off the next day if I commit to having a good time.
Yeah.
That way I know I can just like Netflix and eat.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like if you're a host and you're having let's say you have 3 clients in town that night and you're hanging out with all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of these clients, they might have a lot of extra alcohol, and they're gonna say, Colton, drink, Colton, drink, Colton, drink, Colton, drink, Colton, drink. So that's why he's saying like he has to sometimes have the vodka soda minus the vodka.
100%.
Or you're just right out of
And when I first started, I did. I didn't know that. I was 21 years old, and I was in awe about where I was at. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I do for work. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And I would just get drunk every somewhere, to be honest with you guys. But hey, you live and learn, you know?
Exactly. 100%.
Live and learn.
100%. What would you say is the most impactful thing you've learned being a VIP host and networking completely?
Staying humble. You know, a lot of hosts, once they get to the certain point of booking the certain amount, which, you know, a good host has that, once they hit that tier, they are a good city, not just Calgary, but a good host in the entire city.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys will, you know, have a chip on their shoulder. And I got that for a while, and then I was just like, I was just happy. And then, you know, thinking back to how I got to where I am now, I was the most humble and hardworking person on the team. I was like you when you were a beast, and that was me when I was that age, you know. And I've gotten kind of back into the swing of things of being humble, and you never just really grasping, like, never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah.
Because if you're humble and you just work hard with a positive attitude, things magically just come your way.
Yeah.
You will meet that next massive customer that comes to Vegas just because you met him at Starbucks because you're lucky enough to be there when he was there.
Right.
You know, it's how the world works.
It's weird, man.
I try to keep myself on that mindset at all times.
Do you believe in coincidences?
I believe you attract the coincidences.
I agree with you 100%.
You know, I believe your mindset and mind state is greatly, reflects on how your life is going to be going.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more.
Firm believer. It's magic.
Yeah, it is, man. And we're the magicians.
We sure are.
You know?
Cast spells.
Exactly. It's so true. It really is. Who are some of the coolest performers you got to see? When I was there, we saw Gucci Mane.
Mm-hmm.
I know you just had Sheck West.
Travis Scott was my all-time favorite performance I've ever seen.
You remember when he came in, he
like
snuck
3
in.
a.m. and just did a random performance?
Yeah.
That was the craziest thing I've seen.
He just sneaks in. Doesn't tell nobody.
3
Sneaks in.
Just when the club's closing, so it's empty, and he's just in there just jamming, singing.
Hops in the DJ booth.
And we're just all like, whoa, who got the shot?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's cool. It's crazy stuff, man. What would you say, though?
I've seen everybody. I mean, I've seen, for Tal's 10-year anniversary, we had the entire, like, P. Diddy and his squad. I've seen Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent. I've seen, I've seen every EDM artist you can imagine. Chainsmokers, Calvin Harris. I've seen them all. I've partied with them in their suites after, they perform. Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, Fabulous. Everybody. Only person I haven't seen is Drake. I have not seen Drake yet, and I'll get him this year. But everybody else I've seen, probably anybody you can name, I've seen.
Who's your favorite?
Travis Scott. Travis Scott is the most energetic person. He will literally, like, time it right so when the song drops, he will pull a fan on stage and force him to crowd surf while the cryo is going and while the confetti's going.
Wow.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, and the energy he brings is insane. He's got a documentary on Netflix. You should watch it. It's mind-blowing.
What's it called? Do you know?
I think it's called Astro World. If you just type in Travis Scott, it'll pop right up. It's incredible.
Okay. Does it talk about his come up too?
Yep, that's all it talks about. It's incredible, man.
I'm all about seeing people on their come up, brother.
It's incredible. He started from nothing. I showed him, like, with a 4-person performance into 80,000 people at a stadium. It's insane.
That's what it's about.
And then EDM artists, I'm a big, like, house music fan. I saw Fisher live, which is that one, like, I had to drink at that one because my energy was so high. It's like one of those,
Yeah.
It's like you seeing the Foo Fighters, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's me with those guys.
I love it. And then I got introduced to them for the first time with you. It's like And that's something cool too with house music that I didn't realize is you can listen to it around anybody and it's appropriate still. Because they're not like I listened to it growing up. I listened to a lot of hard thug type rap. You know, you can't listen to that around everybody.
Nope.
But house music and people like Fisher and a bunch of this EDM that's starting to change the game now is you can still get into that upbeat tune, whether it be working out heavy, whether it be I just need to focus and accomplish some tasks or whatever it may be, and turn it on, and anybody could be around you. Like, hey, it doesn't matter. This is still the stand-up guy.
It's exactly right. That's funny.
I love that, man. What would you say? Because I know you have a past as well, where at the beginning of your life you had access to a little bit more of like you said, keeping up with the Joneses, a little bit more lifestyle, and then some things happened in your family where lifestyle had to change for a while, and you had to earn your way back to where you're at now. What was that like having like monetary value and losing it and then coming back to where you're at?
Yep. So glad you brought that up. So I was young. I was maybe 12 or 11 at the point. So it wasn't really my like come down and come back up. It was more of my dad's. He was, in the construction business before it crashed, and his business was one of the top ones in East Layton. So he's very, very well off. Then obviously when the market crashed, so did every construction company. So we lost everything. We had a huge house up on Layton Ridge, like a 12,000 square foot house. He lost all that. He lost his business, lost everything. And, I was old enough to kind of see, I knew it was going on, but I didn't know like how drastic it was. And then once I became of age, I thought back, I was like, man, to see what he did. And he had, me and my 3 siblings.
Yeah.
And when he lost his job, he was taking anything he could to make his family eat, to make his family happy. And that's what motivates me. Because one day I want to pay off all his debts. I want to buy a house. I want to do all that. Because I know what he had to do and what he had to sacrifice to where I can be where I am today. And that's just like makes me hungry.
Right.
Like I want to pay everything for him,
Yeah, that's why he was able to do that stuff, because he was successful in the first place.
Yeah.
You don't get that way if you don't have that mindset.
Exactly. And you don't, there's with every, success is never just a straight line. It's a bumpy road. It goes up and down. And now he's back on top in a different business. He's making great money again. So that just goes to show, no matter how you can go bankrupt, broke, and lose it all, and then still come back up.
Right.
It's all about your mindset. And that's what he taught me. And that's what got me into sales. That's what got me into doing door to door. That's right there what got me into, like, as crazy a story is, it's probably gonna be long, but it's okay.
Yeah, no rush.
He got me into that, like the Kevin Trudeau, self-empowerment. Walter Purdy. Did you ever know Walter? He's one of Crew's good friends.
Okay.
This is before I was even friends with Crew. I got Walter into this.
Yeah.
And Walter and I moved to St. George to sell solar panels.
Okay.
And I failed miserably.
Yeah.
I went dead broke. I didn't sell a single one. So I moved back, and he stayed there. And then he moved to Las Vegas. Walter did.
Yeah.
And he moved Crew to Las Vegas and got him on positive vibes.
Yeah.
And then Crew moved me to Vegas 2 years later.
Right.
So if it wasn't for my dad showing me that and me moving to St. George with Walter, I would not have had the opportunity to go to Vegas.
Right.
And it's just crazy to me, like how everything really, if you don't notice it in the present,
right?
But if you have a positive mind and you're happy and you help people with genuinity, is that sure that works? Genuity, that's the word.
Yeah, okay.
You help people with genuity, and you just work hard. Everything you want and you think about will happen.
Yes.
It's not gonna happen immediately, but in 5 years you'll look back and be like, holy shit, I thought about all this back then.
Yep.
Everything on my vision board came true.
Yes.
It's magic, man.
Yeah.
There was an experiment done with 2 bags of rice.
Okay.
And Jesus Crew did this actually. And he basically filled 2 bags up with white rice, and every day, I think it was 30 days, he talked to one negatively and said, I hate you, you're awful, you're the worst thing ever. And then he said one positively. And after 30 days, the positive one was white, and the other one was like moldy and brown.
Man.
And they both had the same treatment. They were both in the same jar or bag. Like,
wow.
You can look on YouTube and find it. Like that that alone is proof that people who are preaching this aren't just blowing smoke. They're talking real.
Exactly. And it's like people at the top don't land there.
Exactly.
They got to build their way up to that point, and they have to go through the struggle. And it's just like going to the gym. You got to go through the struggle of getting uncomfortable, because lifting, and like pushing your body and exerting your body. It's the same way with exerting your mind. But it's so interesting to me that nobody's taught at the beginning. You have to seek it out.
Yeah.
You have to knock on the door for it to be open.
Right.
Nobody's being taught from the beginning, hey, you got some power right here in between
It's
these,
everything.
in between these ears.
Yep.
And if you can control that power, next thing you know, instead of you becoming the creature of circumstance, you're the creator of the circumstance.
It's unbelievable, man. And you're right. Like the school systems don't teach you that, and it's without your parents teaching you that, the odds of you finding it are a lot difficult because you have no one to. If you don't know what it's about, you have no idea what it's about.
Right.
Your parents are like, hey, this is what it is. Okay, let me dabble in it. Then you stumble upon it, and next thing you know, you're a magician.
Exactly. 100%.
Mhm.
And I think that's another reason. And I almost take it upon myself. And I know you, and I don't know if you call it this, but I know you do just by your actions. You don't even have to talk about it because you be about it. But it's almost our duty now that we know what we know
To help people.
to spread the light. Man.
It is, man.
It's one of my favorite quotes is "A candle that lights another candle loses nothing."
Mhm.
You know, and I'm just trying to go around every day. It's like, who can I ignite today? Whose little candle can I light up? You know, and that's what it's about. Because just like you, damn, you better pray. You better pray somebody comes to you and introduces you.
Agreed.
But just like you were saying earlier about attracting those circumstances to you, it starts with a mind shift.
It's everything, man. It's just you clicking that switch, saying you're going to be a positive person. Your life is going to change so fast before you can even imagine.
Yeah, and Les Brown, you're familiar with Les Brown?
I don't know.
He's I'll send you a couple videos.
Okay.
He's just an old school motivational speaker though,
Okay.
and he would always talk about that too, about waking up. The first 10 to 15 minutes of your day
morning.
is so important to everything else because, and he made the comment to where it's like your subconscious is most open as soon as you're waking up from sleep.
And before sleep.
Yes.
Yep.
So right before bed and right when you wake up, you need to be ingraining with positivity, with your goals, what you need to be accomplishing. And just like you're saying, if you wake up to a negative text of somebody being rude,
your day is gonna be a lot harder to fight that and get back to your positive.
You just turn into the bag of rice.
Exactly. And you just got brown and ugly, you know?
That's really neat.
Yeah.
You said something earlier about a vision board.
Mhm.
Do you set goals? And here's why I asked that. I listened to a podcast just the other day. I told T about it. Bo Eason was on this podcast.
I know. I really heard a couple of
NFL
blows. Yeah.
player. He said something that I think I'm going to use from now on. He says, I don't set goals. I make declarations. But wow. When he was 9 years old, he declared he was going to play in the NFL.
That's amazing.
He said, I even wrote a paper out. It looked like the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, that's
I played
incredible.
in the NFL.
That's incredible.
I love that.
So it's so true. It's so powerful. I mean, it's.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have ever done vision boards. I'm sure you have. It's,
got one right in there.
that's amazing, man. It's my dad taught me that too. He's big on all that, and it was funny because when I moved to Vegas, I do them every year. I do 2 of them every year.
Yeah.
And I moved to Vegas, and I just moved into a new place recently, and I found all of my old ones.
Yeah.
And I look back to them, man, and I almost broke down. I was like, holy shit, dude. 95% of these things that are on here, I've done and I have.
Right.
And you just don't realize it when you're in the presence. And looking back, I was like, holy cow, I got to set even higher goals. So in 5 years, I have that because you don't. There's always the mindset of you don't want to set a goal too high, But I think you should set it as high as possible because even if you shoot for the stars and land on the moon, you're still on the moon.
Exactly.
And worst case, that's better than you were, before you set the goal.
100%.
And that's just when I saw that and how much. It wasn't even down to the color of the car. And the girl and the girls that I dated, were all the exact same thing on the vision board.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away.
No, I absolutely
It's crazy.
do. It's so true though. It's and it takes, and what's so interesting, and I'm excited because at work we're starting a book club that they put me and this other guy head up.
Positivity.
Here we go.
Positivity.
That's what they use called positivity.
Yeah.
It cracked me up, man. But and we're going to be going over Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it's that same type of thing. Is deciding what you want is one of the first steps.
Yep.
And thoughts are things. Thoughts are just as much a matter as anything else.
They become reality.
They are.
Exactly.
And if you look in quantum physics, at the end of the day, the smallest tiny particle is an atom. But an atom is 99% of space. It's we're just floating, what?
Atoms.
I don't know.
Different ones that are combined differently, right?
Exactly. And you start upgrading your frequency, you start upgrading your positivity. Next thing you know, you start attracts like. But what I found and what didn't make sense to me at the beginning, it's and people will listen. And Here, let me start here because I'm getting too hyped up. I get excited. I get excited about this. So Napoleon Hill was a genius. He wrote a book called The Laws of Success, which came out in either 1926 or 1927.
Super boring, but great
Yeah,
books.
Exactly. At the beginning, terribly boring. Until you understand what's happening, then you're hooked. You're like, it's like a drug. It's like, I need more of this boring stuff.
You're kidding.
But he wrote the book with all of these principles, and it's basically telling you. And that book didn't sell as much. And then he wrote a book 10 years later, either 1936 or 1937, Think and Grow Rich came out. And this
icon.
Yes. And this book switched from telling you to saying, hey, there's a secret in here that's talked about over 500 times. You got to find it. Because if I'm somebody, and let's say I'm somebody you look up to, I could tell you all day long, Colton, this is how it is. Colton, this is how it is. Colton, this is how it is. And you can accept it true or not true. But if I say, hey, this is a situation, go find it, and you discover it, and you're like, Teague, this is how it is.
Yep.
As soon as you discover it for yourself, it becomes true. But if I told you, you could accept it or not accept it. So he's a genius because he wrote Think and Grow Rich in the here, now you're looking perspective.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand because I was listening to all these motivational speakers, all these top dogs, all these billionaires, all these millionaires, and they're saying the same thing. And I'm like, oh, you guys are saying the same damn thing, but I'm still not where I want to be.
Exactly.
And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I started realizing as soon as you make that decision of what you want and you know what you're going after, the wheels start in motion. And it might take the time. The wheels start in motion, but in order for that wheel to connect to your goal, so-and-so in another country might have to meet person B, and they might have to have a conversation about you that's going to take place in 3 weeks from now. But if you lost your positivity and if you lost your faith along the way, that conversation may never happen.
Exactly,
and you're sitting in the same spot wondering, why does this not work for me?
Exactly.
Because you got to continue to have that faith and have the understanding that you're the magician.
Yep.
And
it's coming.
It's so funny you say that you got to let someone find it for themselves.
Yeah.
And you know how I teach karate.
Right.
Okay.
You know how I teach. I'll throw little things out to them, and eventually they'll get what I'm saying, but they think they discovered it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's so weird because I will watch it, and it's almost like I can see that light bulb come above their head and just turn on. And I'm like, oh, there, now you got it.
Exactly.
And they probably retain that information 10 times better.
Oh, yeah, incredible.
And that's something
so funny you say that. That's exactly what I picture.
100%. And after you saying that, it's like that clicks a train of thought in my head. It's like, okay, now when I'm teaching other people, I need to be able to do it that way instead of just telling other people. How do I guide them into their own knowledge instead of just telling them?
There was a really cool meme I saw on Instagram, and it was basically there's two types of leaders. There's a boss and a leader. Your boss is the one saying you do this, but the leader is down in the trenches with you, pulling the rope, and he's in front, showing you what to do. That's what a leader is all about, man. And for you to be successful, you have to duplicate yourself. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yes.
And and that's what it's all about, man. Is taking your guys that are beneath you and just try to get them to be better than you.
Right.
That's the goal, and make them beat you, make them be better than you. Because by you doing that, not only will you go further in your career, but you will have the most loyal, best followers of there is.
Yep.
I say that all the time in teaching. I want my students to be better than me.
Yes, that's what it's all about, man.
I don't just say that.
You genuinely do.
I really do.
That's what makes you a great leader. That's incredible.
You know, you're 100% right, because there's those coaches too, even in athletics, that they'll keep one trick. It was so interesting. There was this guy that I practiced with when I was learning wrestling, and he wouldn't show me just a couple things just so he could beat me at it sometimes, and it's a pride thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's a pride thing, but at the end of the day, if you're selfless, a rising tide is going to raise all ships, and it's going to come back to you tenfold, just like you're saying, brother.
And it's hard to see it, but if you have to believe it, man, it will just be like one day, like, wow, I have a team of 10 people, and we're all making more money together.
Yep.
Because you're a successful team. That's what it's all about.
Exactly, brother. No, I love it. And then just to add upon the meme that you were talking about, I was listening to this multimillionaire guy, and he was talking about the same thing. There's two types of successful people: the ones that step on everybody's toes to get to the top, and the ones that drag everybody with them to the top. And you're the type of guy who drags everybody with them. And just so you guys know, well, I like to know it because I got to see it firsthand. You know, and just so you guys know, everything Colton's saying here he's not just, like you said, he's not blowing smoke. I sat and watched him every single day, and because we're clicking our phone on and off 30,000 times a day,
Right.
especially as a VIP host. And on his wallpaper was great leaders develop other leaders. So exactly what he was talking about. And he's seen it over and over and over and over and over and over. And now if you go see his team in Vegas, they're becoming leaders themselves.
We're one of the best teams there is, and we have the oldest nightclub in the city with the longest lasting venue ever in Las Vegas. And that's because our leaders train, like my mentors train me. I'm a recreation of them with our team. And, without that kind of leadership, our venue probably would have failed a long time ago because it's 14 years old.
No.
But now we are the longest running venue, and we still throw insane parties. We're famous for it, and
it's nuts.
And just to attest what he was saying, I mean, I didn't have to do anything to this kid. I just helped him a little bit, and this kid hit the ground running. He was like one of our top guys, and within 3 months of being there, everyone's like, dude, what the hell?
Where did he come from?
Let me get what thinking. Awesome of that.
I appreciate
It was
that.
insane.
Awesome.
It was cool, man. It's cool to see.
No, man, I was just blessed to be around a good crowd out there, because especially in Vegas, like if you get stuck in the wrong crowd,
It's
it
deadly.
can go
Oh,
south
yeah.
fast,
Yep.
And I had people who cared about me genuinely.
Yeah.
I had people who backed me up. There was times when I didn't know what I was eating tonight, but next thing you know, Colton or Brandon or Ken or one of those, or Alain, that, hey, you hungry? Let's go out to eat. And I was like, and it was one of those things where I had to drop the pride.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't want the help. I didn't want the meal.
Right.
It's like, oh, I'd almost rather not eat and let you pay for me. But next thing you know, that's the type of people they are. They're gonna help you because they had been there. Colton was
That's so true.
Colton was in the spot where he was in the couch.
Like,
He didn't even have his own house. Like he's
like
making
$100
garbage.
to my name, just not even nothing at all.
Exactly. But you're going all in.
Yeah.
Going all in, and
Yeah.
that's what it's about. It's like
Here
you
we are.
gotta go all in, and there's no other way to go. Dude, we get one life, and especially after my buddy passed. Corey.
Mhm.
After he passed, he was 21 years old, and it's like, dude, it's the most crazy thing. What you wake up the next morning, it's like, I got another chance. I'm really in this bitch.
Yeah.
I got another chance here. Let's go. Like Marcus Aurelius, one of the great last Roman emperors. He said, live
Yeah.
each day like your last, because you really don't know if you're waking up tomorrow.
You're right, man. Then if you do wake up, you got to be grateful.
Yes.
Gracious thinking is probably the most powerful form of thinking.
Agreed.
That just helps you. That really snowballs into positivity, and that helps you where you want to be.
Yeah, I heard this concept on prayer, and I respect all religions. I love all people, but it's so interesting because I grew up and learned from a Christian background,
Mhm.
but I heard this concept on prayer, and there's so many people and they're praying, like they'll get sick and then they start praying,
Yeah.
or something bad happens and then they start praying.
Only when something bad, they start praying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're wondering why their prayers don't come to fruition. But a prayer is a continuous process of gratitude, like you're saying.
Yep.
As soon as I'm eating this food, man, I didn't have to bless the food before I ate it. Every bite, I'm like, man, this is nourishing
I'm
me.
eating.
This is helping me. I'm eating. I'm here. I am having something some people don't get to have.
Exactly.
And-
And it's so crazy because you don't think about it.
Right.
It's so easy we're so fortunate that it's so
Take things for
easy.
granted.
Right.
Yeah, it's so easy for us to eat and sleep with a nice house and have clean water. Like that's,
Right.
you think about places that don't, like Flint, Michigan, man.
Yeah.
That's like the water's deadly. I can't imagine living there.
All right.
You're crazy. Take it for
Agreed, man.
granted. It's crazy.
And if we can keep that gracious attitude and making life the prayer instead of just a quick act,
Mhm.
it's like, man, that's when the magic happens right
magic
there. It's like
happens,
just
man.
being gratitude, being thankful, and really just living by that.
Mhm.
It's so weird because it gets easy. It's who do you surround yourself with? What are you listening to? What's going into your senses? What's going on in your ears? What's going into your eyes? What are you seeing? What are you talking about? What's the voice in your head talking about? Is he talking negative or is he talking positive?
Yep.
Dude, at the beginning too, I didn't get it because, and it's like people look at people that go to the gym where all these elite athletes are like, man, I couldn't believe how he got there. He's so naturally gifted.
No, it's not.
He put the work in. He acclimated
Yep.
his body. It got better. It got stronger. The body got faster. The body got healthier. It's the same with the mind. People are like, man, how is Colton so positive all the time? How is all this stuff happening all the time? He had to train, and I didn't get it because I used to get angry so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and I still work on it. You know, if I can,
We all have our issues. Yeah.
yeah, I get hot-headed, but we all got our vices and things like that. But at the beginning, when a situation would happen, it would be easier for me to get mad. Next thing you know, it's like as soon as I started learning about positivity, as soon as I wanted to get mad, it's like, well, how do I get positive about it? And it was hard as shit at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucked sometimes. Like, I was like, man, this is hard.
I just want to punch a wall.
Yeah.
Let my anger out.
Yeah, I just want to light somebody up. Like, just this guy walking down the street, but I'm mad right now.
Yeah.
I want to take it out on somebody. And then after that, I started trying to get positive every single time. And then eventually it got easier to get positive instead of getting
my
mad.
nature. It's second nature. It's like driving.
Yes. You ever been driving and you're listening to something and you get to your destination, you're like, shit, I don't remember any of my drive.
It's like, dang, I just had 4 phone calls, drank my coffee, and I'm here. What the hell?
Exactly.
It's so crazy. It's trippy. It's such a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
But you just do it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
100%. And that's that same type of thing. If you're listening, if you're moving towards your goals, if you're being grateful, if you are working hard, you're going the extra mile in a genuine positive attitude, you're just like that car. You're going to get to your goal and you're going to look back and what the hell? How did I just get here?
Yeah.
Instead of dreading it the whole way.
Yep.
Because it's like,
true, man.
you're in stop and go traffic and you're sitting there and you're
pissed.
it's like the car ride
That's a good analogy.
goes 30,000 minutes longer than it should, you know?
Yeah, instead of just listening to the music and going with the flow.
Right.
You get there in no time. Traffic will clear up for you.
Yes. 100%.
That's crazy. Yeah.
100%. Well, that's it. I mean, man, I'm thankful for you to come on. Do you have any gold nuggets, any last tips, any last anything for our listeners before we wrap this up?
Just no matter how dark it gets, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I'm thankful for you, brother. Truly.
Thanks for having me, bro. It's been awesome. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Do you have anything else before we wrap up?
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, man. I'm excited to hear it. When it's all said and done.
Hell yeah. We'll be editing and we'll be coming out tomorrow.
Perfect.
So, as always, guys, thanks for listening and coming to you raw.
Nice. That was money, dude. Good shit.
That was awesome.
That was a good one. Like,
I agree.
That was
Hit
that
chin.
was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.